Alright, what's up everybody? Back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about Morant. Yesterday, the suspension for him was announced. We're going to get into all of it, everything around it, why he got suspended, what the suspension, what it does for him, the Grizzlies, and just everything involving this situation right now. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn on notifications, all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. We upset a lot. Yeah, off season, but we're gonna keep working. I got draft stuff coming pretty soon. Next week, it's gonna be mostly, probably the entire week, probably draft stuff. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all that stuff. So if you like that, be on the lookout. And yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So yesterday, the suspension for Morant was finally announced. We knew it was gonna happen. We just didn't know when and how many games it was gonna be because of an incident that happened in May. But we're gonna go back to March during the season when Morant did get suspended 8 games for brandishing a gun on Instagram video when he was in a strip club, all this stuff like that. We know that whole situation happened. There's a few more incidents before, not even with a gun, but with other things about how he got into a fight in the mall. This thing with the 17-year-old kid, even at the Pacers game where him and his friends after the game went and were driving, trying to find the Pacers assistant coach, all that stuff. There's been a lot of situations with Morant this last year, and it's been very kind of surreal in a way because he's one of the best young guys in the league. He's a guy that is a fan favorite. A lot of people love Morant. And for him to be doing this, especially at the level he's at right now, and the popularity level and all this stuff, it just really hurts him. It hurts the NBA. It hurts all of it. And then March was the real, but that was before the first March incident with the first gun. And so before that, it was just kind of kept under the rug a little bit. It was kind of like, all right, those things happen, but it's not anything legal, so all right. And then the video in the strip club comes out, and now the NBA's like, dang, now we got to do something about this. And now he's got guns. He's in college. He was in Colorado. It was after a game in Denver where it's not legal to open carry and all this stuff. And they're suspecting maybe he took it on the plane with him. But ultimately, he just got 8 games. Went to a little bit of a therapy session for a few days in Florida. Came back, played the rest of the season, went through the playoffs, lost in the first round. And the thing that really kind of gets me as well in this is because I made a looking video about the Grizzlies and what their next step is going to be. I'll put a card up here somewhere. You could go click on it and watch it. And in Morant's post-game interview after they lost in the playoffs, he was talking about how, yeah, I really messed up this year. I feel like this team could have been a lot better. We could have gotten highest potential because, I messed up and I got to be a lot better. And he took accountability for his actions in a leadership role. He also had an interview with Jalen Rose as well before and all this stuff. And I kind of thought, all right, next year, I think this is the turning point for Ja. I think he's kind of grown, understand what he did. The NBA game of suspension, that kind of made him I thought that made him kind of realize, okay, I can't be doing all this stuff. So, okay, now I got to be better. And then I don't even think it was a month later after I said that, I stood up for Ja. I was like, oh, you know what? Ja is going to be a lot better, and this Grizzlies team is going to be a lot better next season. And then not even a month later, man, we know the second he's on Instagram Live with one of his friends. They're in the car, they're vibing, chilling, the music, and all of a sudden, Morant pulls out another one, and the friend tries to pull it away at the end, try to make it seem like, oh shoot, but also it was weird because his friend was filming, and then he looked at Ja, and then he pointed the camera, knowing he had the gun out, and knowing that if he has another one, knowing what the backfire that could come from it, and he still records it anyway, tries to pull it away really quick to make it seem, but yeah, and then the whole thing comes out, and then everyone, I think everyone in the world did a face palm. Everyone in the world went like, "Are you kidding me? It happened again." And so it happened again. Investigation throughout the entire league, and Adam Silver even came out before the finals and said, like, "Hey, we're not gonna talk about this suspension because we don't want it to affect the NBA Finals. And that's where everyone kind of was like, whoa, this might be, and including me, Adam Silver saying that because it was like 2, 3, 4, 5 games. You probably would have just said it. No one would have really cared. But when he said, like, yeah, we're not going to announce until after the finals because we don't want to take away the spotlight from already kind of people didn't really care too much about this finals, the media, national media at least. So Ja would be like the only thing being talked about. And so everyone kind of put this idea in their head like, oh, shoot, like this might be serious. So the finals end a few days later, and then we go to yesterday, where it's announced, I think Sean's was the first one who tweeted it, that he will be suspended 25 games next season. And he also, not just 25 games, but he will also have to meet some certain requirements and conditions before he's able to be reinstated and come back and play. He also can't be a part of any public league or team activities, can't play in the preseason, all the stuff like that. And it shocked people in a way of like 25, that's it. Because I feel like people only saw the 25 games and were just like, oh shoot, 25 games, that's it. It's still a lot. It's still like dang near what, a fourth of the season, like a quarter of the season. He won't be coming back until like December, and at that point, the team probably obviously will only play like 25 games, so he's missing probably a full quarter of the season to play and get chemistry with his team. So they have to really start getting it together in like January. And then also maybe it's not really a full just 25 and then you're back. There's also some requirements and conditions to meet. We don't know those yet. I don't know if they are going to publicly release those or if they're just going to keep that quiet for Ja, because those are Ja's personal things that he has to do. It's probably going to be some therapy and some group sessions and stuff like that. But because I think that's what they did with Kyrie. I think when Kyrie got suspended last year for posting his link and doing all that stuff, he had to meet certain requirements before he was able to come back. And he had to do some certain things. So Ja probably gonna have to do some similar, go to sessions and therapies and stuff like that. And then, yeah, so he'll be suspended 25 games next season, at least. So what does this do for him and the Grizzlies? The Grizzlies I feel like now have kind of accepted it. The fact, even when the video first got, they first saw the live and all that and the investigation, they probably should have known already, like, all right, we're probably gonna not have Ja the entire season. We're gonna have to miss out on some Ja Morant. They probably maybe even thought it would have been a little bit bigger than what they actually have. So 25 games, of course, it's tough. It's still like a quarter of the season, but with the team they have, they've kind of gotten a little bit used to not having Ja. The last few years without Ja Morant, they've been solid. And they have Tyus Jones, one of the best probably the best backup point guard in the league. So they have that working for him. Tyus Jones can fit right in. He's a really good game manager, smart, high IQ. They still got Bane, Jaren. They still got a whole offseason as well. The draft hasn't even started yet. And there are reports that they're trying to trade up to get a late lottery pick. So, who knows what this team looks like next season? We don't know. Dylan Brooks is going to be gone. You're going to have a few, probably more spots. Guys like Jake LaRavia, Dave Roddy maybe getting more in minutes for next season. Getting some more guys like that get some minutes. So, yeah, for the Grizzlies, I feel like they kind of knew it was coming, and now they have, with it going on now, they have a full offseason to kind of work around it, which is kind of the positive in all of this. That full offseason work around it. Ja now has 25 games. Now Ja now is like, okay, now I have to be better, and he has to meet certain requirements, so he can't just skate through now anymore. Like, oh, he did it, 8 games, okay. He can't just skate through everything anymore. Now he's got to actually be a part of this, meet these certain requirements before he could come back. And kind of lets him know, like, okay, you can't do this again. Because if he does this one more time, who knows? I don't even want to put that out there that he's going to do it. I hope it doesn't happen again. Because I want to see Ja. I think we all want to see Ja go out there and play and succeed and not have any of this tied to him. So I'm not even going to talk about if that happens again. I don't even want to put that energy out there. And so that's what it does probably for the Grizzlies, for Ja, for the NBA. Yeah, just kind of letting him know and letting everyone else know, like, hey, like, at the end of the day, this is still a brand. This is still a business. Still, we're one of the top leagues in the world. You know how many kids and all this stuff and all these people pay money and look up to these guys, we can't have any kind of bad publicity and things like that going on, especially with the way the world is now today. It's just very tough, not good to do that stuff. Yeah, but also the story might not be over because after the suspension was announced and all this stuff, the NBPA, the National Basketball Players Association, released a statement. The executive director, Tamika Tremaglio, I hope I said that right. They released a statement, and I'll read it quote for quote. It said, quote, Ja has expressed his remorse and accepted responsibility for his actions, and we support him unequivocally as he does whatever is necessary to represent himself, our players, and our league in the best possible light. As to the discipline imposed, which keeps him off the court until December and requires some unstated conditions to be met before he can return, we believe it is excessive and inappropriate for a number of reasons, including the facts involved in this particular incident, and that is not fair and consistent with past discipline in our league. We will explore with Ja all options and next steps, end quote. So basically, the NBPA said, you know, we don't want Ja doing these things. We support, him, and we support, the NBA not wanting that publicity out there, that light out there for him and for the league. But we don't think he should be suspended and have to meet conditions to come back. That's what they said. So maybe there's an appeal that happens soon. Maybe something like that. I really don't know. It sounded like they're going to try to maybe take action, maybe try to cut the suspension down or do something like that. I'm not sure, so I can't really speak on that because I don't know what's going on in their heads and what they think they can do. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. That's just maybe another layer, another wrinkle we have to add to the story, as it keeps unfolding and as it keeps happening throughout this entire off season. So very interested for that. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this situation goes out, how Ja responds to this. Well, he already kind of released a statement. We don't have to get into all of that, because again, I don't want to start defending him again, and because I know what happened in my Chrissy's looking video to now very different situations and very yeah, I can't even believe that happened, man. I can't even believe he did it again. I honestly can't. Like, even after, I went up, I was like, we're going to be good. Ja's going to come back better than ever, and this is going to be a redemption story. And then he did it, not even a month later, he did it again. And it's like, dude, you got to have some sense. You got to have some sense and some kind of, knowing what's going on and common sense, honestly. He's still 23 years old, with millions and millions of dollars playing in the NBA. So I mean, obviously, we've seen things like this. People make mistakes, young people just being immature, stuff like that. I'm a young person. I get immature sometimes. It's like whatever. But after the first time it happens, and you saw what the NBA did, like, how do you not have the common sense of, all right, I'm on a live video where my friend is recording. I already know I have it on me, which is cool. But how do you not know, okay, I can't pull it out on a live video because I'm Ja Morant. I'm Ja Morant. People already are watching me. People love me. I'm one of the more popular players in the NBA. Even if I am on my friend's account, they know he's my friend. They know I'm on here. Some people, not even a lot of people watching. Even if some people are watching him and know, oh, that's Ja Morant. Look at him. If I do this, if I pull this gun out and I do this, people are gonna screenshot. People are gonna see it. So how do you just not have that sense of knowing where you are, knowing what's going on, to not do that? I really don't understand. I don't know. But it happened. The suspension's out. Here's what it is. And hopefully, everything just goes on well, because I don't want to see anything more happen to Ja. Maybe even potential getting out of the league or whatever. I don't want that to happen to him. So hopefully he just takes his suspension, really actually applies it, learns okay, I can't do this anymore. I gotta be better. I gotta be better role model, not to just the NBA, but to everybody around me, or his daughter, everybody. So, I mean, yeah, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed once again. If you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, also like that. I really appreciate it. We have said a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.